Paramount. Okay, so that's beginning of the commentary. Here. We have with us Steve Oedekerk here, Paul Marshall, producer, Phil Cruden, production designer, TJ Sullivan, animation supervisor, Todd Grimes, animation supervisor, David Andrews, unable to make it, who is our lead animation supervisor, and we have Dimitri Jalazin.
That's it. I'm out of here.
Not spelled
Our
as
texture
it sounds.
and look dev, Dimitri Joannidis.
Joannidis.
Joannidis?
Yes.
Joannidis.
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 Joanna Dat.
Joannidis. You have to say it quick. Okay, so here's our opening of the movie. Oh, well, looky there.
How did that work?
Okay,
Oh, now we have to hear about the rest of the movie. Yes.
Tree. Where does that tree go later?
Phil, you want to talk about the skies?
Sure.
That went well. That went really well.
Okay, so we're not going to be referring to the production designer any longer.
Watch the cow on the front.
Must learn early on
His eyes don't blink.
The clouds, Steve. That was the big last round.
Well, clouds were always going over on the movie. It was the whole goal was to have a swervy, curvy feel to the Barnyard, and then we strayed away to the coyotes or other settings. We could sharpen things up and change the mood. So the clouds, I always wanted this big swirl in the clouds so they'd be stylized, and it was really tough because they never looked like real clouds when we did it.
No, and it didn't look like it matched into the rest of the film. That was the problem.
Yeah.
When we got that real swirl happening, it didn't look like a cloud anymore.
Yeah, it had a 2D drawn look to it, so we sort of came up with a happy medium. These are my favorite in terms of swirly. But, I was a broken record on swirl. And the tree trunks, which the lookout tree was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I was trying to get the knots to look like swirl.
The skies took us a while to get together, too. I mean, once we had our stock, we had them, but
if you guys want to just do a commentary just on the sky, we could do a whole other
a whole movie.
Yeah,
like
the
whole
just
movie.
do the sky commentary.
I guess Beans, you weren't really around that much.
Zing!
Well, you may not have been in on the sky conversations.
Clearly. Whose name is on at the end, my friend, okay? Whose name? If you hear the sound of Steve choking, I think you know I've been strangling him.
To say the least.
So, Phil, do you want to talk about the sky?
I think I'm done with the skies at this point.
What were the settings for the blue? What? 25500. Wait,
okay,
that's
so
red.
beginning of films can be tricky sometimes because you're really spending a lot of time trying to meet the characters and at the same time keep things moving along. So a lot of this early walk of story-wise, Ben looking for Otis, so you start to get a sense of okay, who's this Otis guy? Well, really, we're getting an opportunity to meet the Jersey cows, and we just met Duke, and setting up the animals as animals before the farmer leaves, and they all stand up. So really, the early goals before we get to Otis was just to get a vibe for the world and early vibe of Ben, who's played by Sam Elliott, who's amazing.
And this great scene, which was created much later in the movie. I know you went through 65 different permutations of how to set your main character Otis up, and this ended up being your favorite.
I was always having a hard time with our beginning, and the movie was playing great with audiences, but it was just always bugging me. It wasn't good enough, and I was very vocal about that with everybody. And then ultimately, we were like at the point of no return. I think we were lock and picture, and I thought I'm just going to go write something as though I could do anything, and rode hill surfing up really fast, and then it was very cool. Studio dug it, and we got that late approval because it really made a photo finish.
Yeah.
Like this scene coming up,
big
was
difference
nice and easy.
to the beginning.
Yeah,
it made a huge difference
It's
to the
neat because
beginning.
it shows all of them together, just having a good time, and that's what they do.
Yeah.
Introduce them as memorable as possible.
Yeah.
And these textures came out awesome, by the way. I really love the...
Quick approval on this shot.
Oh, yeah, this one took a while because this was
Several
the one where I
years.
kept going, what was me? No, not like that. Like, longer, taller.
It's still a little,
But there was an optical illusion to that. That is so insanely tall, and it doesn't look as high as it is,
The camera was...
We can prove it. It was really tall.
This was the very last sequence we animated on the film, even though it's so early on in the movie.
Yeah, we had to hold... I think this animation lasted almost past having animators on the Barnyard.
That's how long.
5 left.
Yeah, so we should have been in lighting composite only at that time, but we were also doing this sequence. But I also think that kind of juiced everybody up because it was a great late creative thing.
It's a fun sequence. Effects guys did a really, really good job with all
And
this stuff.
these sets were actually the last sets to get designed. Pretty much. Film, the very last ones.
I love hearing Freddy on that. His screams.
This was actually very tough in the final mix, just because when you're trying to dig out Pip's
Trying to
little
pick
voice with all
everybody
this,
out,
so
right.
many, it's like 80 tracks of sound going on. This worked out really well. This is not an easy joke to sell, but the timing worked out really nice.
It's tricky to get that camera working properly as well, and all the timing of that gag, and
Yeah.
the reveal of the geese and the cliff, and this was particularly difficult. Scott Lang effects did a really good job with all this
Oh
oil.
man,
wonderful.
how was that bloodbath? I handed that one off to Todd after a while. I was like, I can't talk about oil anymore.
And and then they did, and the feathers were quite a feat as well.
Yeah, the feathers, they all landed very cool though.
And you'll notice Lorraine's organic eggs there.
Yeah, that's right.
Plug that one in.
Phil's wife. So you don't really know what happened. You think they're all dead. Well, maybe not to that extreme.
Barnyard the Short.
So this was this first joke I wrote in because Paul Marshall kept bugging me about having Ben do
to
something
be
nice.
a little warm and fuzzy.
So
at
that
the beginning.
created the birthday joke with Everett.
He did do something there.
After a while.
Zing.
Just jokes.
What's up?
That's great.
I know you're probably looking for an explanation regarding.
Feathers, nice.
Yeah, it's
And the feathers ended up looking great.
And I loved all
Yeah,
this,
they looked really good.
the Kevin James stuff here, because I know we had a lot to choose from, and I thought this was a great choice here.
Yeah, this was, we were early in the film and setting up a character, so we brought Kevin back and started just playing around with him in terms of what would be the best way to meet him, and he had his own take on, what would be accessible and likable, but without being too pandery and whiny, so it was nice. Keep a strong attitude.
After the opening had been changed, we actually had to go back here and redo Otis's parts to now fit in with how that previous sequence ended.
That's where the bottle dislodged from Pig, and you'll have to watch the.
Oh yeah, that's right. There was this
Now,
nice.
Stephen, and Pig just the bee in the nose. Where did that come from, Stephen?
I don't know. I just hit, when I was writing, I
The
thought it'd be
running
funny if he had
the
a little
running
bee in
gag of
his
the
nostril.
bee
We
in
have
his
pigs,
nostril.
pigs root around, and gets a bee stuck in his nose.
We did have many meetings on the size ratio of the bee.
Yeah, because it was always too big.
Yeah.
And now this Hello Moto, that cell phone ring was actually, that's probably in the movie because my wife hated that ring on her phone, and when she wasn't around, I would always put it back on the phone. So it was this big internal joke at home, the Hello Moto. So when we had this sequence came up, I thought, I'll use that ring.
And then Rob Paulson is the
I really should go, Mr. Jordan.
The gopher.
gopher.
And the Gopher Underground's really like this. It's funny. You always have so much time in a movie, but it's like the underground gray market. In the series, we'll get to explore it a lot more. But it's fun little world. But that's where you get your human goods.
I like the effect of the dust in the background there and the light.
Yeah, it's nice.
Sam liked Sam Elliott. Ben's warm and fuzzy with the birthday at the front, and now he's getting a little, he's laying down the law. We kind of ingratiated with Sam's character here.
Yeah, Sam's awesome.
Sam
He's
is
just
wonderful.
really wants to nail it.
The sheep are wonderful
Yeah,
too.
well, it was really important that the sheep were always in a huddle, and I think that created a lot of dismay along the way because I'd always see a separate sheep, and then I'd have to bring the bad news. Well, the sheep aren't separate; they're only in a huddle.
It was hard to tell without their hair on them how close together they actually.
Yeah, it's true.
These were actually some of the first scenes that came through color right here.
Yeah, you're right.
Finished
very early on
color
stuff.
scenes.
It was the
And
infamous
try as much
stalls.
as much as I could to keep the animals sort of with how they would normally be. Like the reason the sheep are always together is just that they're kind of scared, a little skittish, and they don't want to venture out alone.
This is where the farmer parked his airplane. It's the hangar-sized barn.
Yes, Steve can tell you more about that.
Oh yeah.
I kept on drawing small barn. He was like, bigger.
It's gotta be big enough to do a big transformation. Yeah.
Plenty of
It
textures
does
in
have
there.
quite a few animals.
In reality, it's 135 feet wide by 190 feet long.
Yeah, it's a big barn.
Well, he's working on a blimp in there, and
Which is in the TV series.
When I was writing this dialogue sequence, is really where I realized it was sort of me, like this is a classic argument of me and my dad, and then that kind of bridged into a coming of age story that I tried to make accessible for everybody.
Did this, I mean, obviously the first pass with Otis's character before we got Kevin, Steve was playing Otis for, what do you think, Phil? At least the first year and a half of the movie, we lived with Steve Odekirk as Otis.
Yeah.
That was our bar, high or low as you can get.
Exactly.
I mean, come on, that was it.
It was really different hearing Kevin's voice after hearing Steve's for so long.
It was a bit of a change, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had some notes actually on Steve's
back then. Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Well, it's tricky when you shift. You get used to something and you shift off. I was Kevin's just perfect for this role.
Eat your head right off. I mean, it's fun up here.
This was
Freddy the Ferret seed planting that he wants to eat his best friend.
This was also very early on stuff. I think it was.
Yeah, some of our first stuff that we were rolling through production. All the challenges, I think, of the trees and the look.
Grass and the water.
To like a golf course.
It's my wife's name there on the ball.
Nice.
Isabella, my daughter's name, is on the hat, Izzy's golf course.
It was Steve Baker, our other supervisor, that animation supervisor, that took this whole montage sequence here. And
nice sky, by the way.
yeah, Phil, do you want to comment?
Very blue.
That's
actually
there's
Greg Emerson.
in the booth.
We used mocap for a lot of the background characters, including these football players. This is always a very strange looking play. It was at one point their textures on their jerseys were all wrong, and you were trying to figure out what these guys were doing.
And who was playing who?
It's probably it's probably worth a mention that we had so many of the script. There were so many crowd scenes and background characters, and I really didn't want to scale it down. And usually that's what happens in recent years is everybody will scale down the scope of the film to match the budget. And I really didn't want to do that. So yeah, we used motion capture so that we could have big crowd backgrounds with everybody doing their own thing, so it wasn't a cloning process, and it worked out very nicely.
You got the sunflowers had the swirl in it, tied into the.
Yeah, we had a little sunflower.
This is a very controversial scene here, wasn't this, Stephen? Didn't they?
With this one?
Wasn't this?
No.
Didn't they want to? Just didn't. Thought maybe the vegetarians in the crowd were because he's listing the types of meat.
Oh, because he's mentioning the meat.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I'm not really.
Look at you,
about that
very
kind of
forceful,
stuff.
Steve Oker, very forceful.
Did you guys realize that the cows have udders?
Really? Wow,
weird.
that's so
I-
wild.
can we rewind
Isn't
that?
What's going on with that?
Odd.
That really killed me. It cracked me up that became a big deal. Just
Big
because it
focal
was
point.
it was so not done for any reason other than
we
it
did
looks
the
kind of
Barnyard
funny.
demo 7-8 years ago, and the cows had udders, and everybody thought it was funny, and we moved
It's like
on
a
with our
race
life.
of animal that have men and women, but it really became quite the deal.
Well, just that early lineup of them from years ago, with them all just
It
doing
was
them.
funny.
It's always been there.
That's right.
They look funnier, and there's no subtext to it. But I've read some really funny chat room discussions where somebody will like go on and on and on about like what are they thinking? Don't they know? Don't they know? And then the next person in the stream is like, dude, it's a cartoon. Yeah.
Clearly, you're trying to be subversive with the udders.
Well, the rest of the movie's so accurate to real life. How the animals are talking and running around on two legs and driving cars. It's it's such a correct world.
It's
that
a biology lesson, except for
you wouldn't want to wreck it up by changing anything from.
I had somebody tell me the other day, why didn't they pull the udders back, pull the animation back on the udders? That would have been better.
We did.
I know.
We did pull it back.
It's like, well, you
already
should have
a
seen
layer.
it before it got pulled back.
Yeah, it deeply offended my aunt and uncle who had started a whole company in Canada and lived on a farm, and
They were offended?
yeah, well, my aunt was she
Mission
couldn't understand
accomplished.
why we had udders on the male cows, and she even wrote a book. It all began with Daisy. A different character. Little family plug there.
Wow, there you go.
A different story though. It's a different.
Well, just get her some tape to put on the TV at that.
Yeah. She said she
Lower
got over
third
it.
of the screen, you block it, you're probably good.
I like the animals exercising in the background. I think that's really cool.
There's one doing Tai Chi.
And the push-ups.
Yeah, one stretching, so...
Some of the background characters are the most fun to watch in this if you stare at some of them. Some of them,
Yeah,
in one shot, something's happening. They're all looking at it, except for this one. It's a pan, and there's this one horse just totally turned the other way, not even paying attention.
So Joel Brinkerhoff
Hero with
animation
texture.
here.
I know where that is.
And this the classic moment when we first see the barn transform.
Yeah, it's probably one of the early ideas in terms of just conceptually of farmer goes to sleep, the barn turns into this wild animal saloon and singing, dancing, having fun. So
I love this horse
Yeah,
animation.
and Neil Michka animated this. It was a really good job. I think this was like the first shot he did, or maybe
Yeah.
came out really good with that Everett thing. And
Who did that?
Neil Michka.
this song is a band called the Rednecks out of Europe, which is like these
Inspiration, yeah,
Swedish
that's
hillbilly
great.
guys, and they. I love their music, so we had the song remade by the North Mississippi All Stars to kind of put their spin on it, and Les Claypool came in and sang on it, so it turned out really, really great energy for the scene.
That bar coming down didn't take us too long.
Yeah, everything in here was like
It was
for
really simple.
1 week.
for how short the screen time is of each
Couple of days went through.
segment. It was a big deal. Same with this egg splashing on the face. I mean, it was a
Yeah.
I'm not so sure it ever really got finished completely right. We got close.
Oh, do we talk about the Colonel?
Yeah, that's.
But yeah, the
allowed to
Colonel.
talk about the
I
Colonel,
want to hear
sure.
the story behind this. Actually, Dimitri. It's,
International. Well, I guess we had no problem with the Colonel, but internationally we
Had to change the Colonel
Yeah.
because
Oh, the Colonel was
it's
changed
one of our
in-
sponsors internationally, so he's getting a dart in his eye, which I guess they frown upon
He's
there.
the
I don't
Colonel.
know. There's Everett still playing though.
Nice. Everett was weaved nicely into the movie.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Everett always gets to laugh.
just want to mention every little asset in there, signs and bottles were all put under a lot of scrutiny by Mr. O.
Well, there's a lot of jazz in here, and yeah, but it gets into like the design of where the lights are, and making sure it's not lit too flat, and we have pools of light in the setting. This ended up being a nice visual. This is one of the prettiest scenes, I think.
Yeah, it's
even
one of
though
my
it's
favorites
simple.
as well.
Beautiful.
the stars were.
On time, just like I said.
Oh man, the stars. We were redoing the stars to match till the all the shots were done separately. Our skies didn't match at all. So I think it primarily got cleaned up pretty well.
There's still this you can see in this guy is quite different from the one in the scene. Well, this one.
Yeah.
There's at some points there's more stars, fewer stars.
We had the problem right from the beginning, and I think it was because they were putting the dome in one place on one scene, then putting it in another place in the other scene. So they were just getting
Proximity
closer
of
and further
camera,
away.
how close the camera was to the dome, things like
yeah.
that.
I blame Dimitri.
I'll take it.
And that Otis
You don't
fall
need to
when
blame him, was him.
when Otis tripped a minute ago, that was a big redo over and over and over.
Yeah.
Trying to get the funniest fall,
Ryland Davies animated that. It was, I think he was right out of school and turned out to be one of our favorites. He did some really funny stuff on the film, including that shot.
I like the little character build with Otis and Ben here. It's really sets everything up.
We also went through quite a bit of stuff just to design this little hill that they're on. Remember, we went back and forth a bunch of times because the pond was creating a problem, the river was creating a problem.
Yeah, and I think it gets maybe even trickier when the director's pretty much like, "Well, just slide that over there." So I like the ability of being able to move things around. So I think it landed really
landed
nice.
great.
Yeah.
Out into the meadow. I see this little baby calf. All of them.
And there was one point where I think the moon was behind every character in the movie.
Yeah,
Because it was such a nice aesthetic addition that we started finding the moon all over the place.
And even during the day.
17 moons in the Barnyard
That
world.
side.
Yeah, udders and 32 moons.
It's not Earth. It's a planet where
The blogs were very evenly distributed on those two
the planet
topics.
Udder Moon.
Just the sequel.
It was very
What are you
difficult
doing?
actually because of the weight of the character, because of their like round shapes.
Yeah.
They had a lot of crashing through. Like Otis sitting down, there's a bunch of stuff that had to be cleaned up on it just because the legs are so short and his body's so wide. But we have a lot of that in the movie.
And that was also one of those primary goals too, was to keep the lines very simple and clean in the character design. And I was
Soft.
always really interested in having this kind of cartoony storybook world, but the emotions of the sequences actually working. I was very, very happy with where we landed. I think everybody did an awesome job.
This shot changed a few times too.
Yeah.
Trying to find them right.
Oh yeah, we finally got a laugh on this. We kept going through different things, and
I always like that old one. Yeah, too.
Yeah.
Ba-doop, ba-doop, boop.
Yeah. Well, the first one,
I think you did.
I scratched. We got
which
laughs, and then we weren't getting laughs, and then Kevin
Exactly.
came in and nailed it with the last one, so we got it.
Kevin will work it. He'll sit there and work it till it comes through.
So this is Shaggy. Shaggy knows. I think he knows we licensed the song, but I don't think he knows we made him a big
A
mouse.
large mouse, yes. And I remember we were in edit. I think we were in edit and we were playing tunes and this came up. And didn't you come up with that?
It was an early movie, and I was like, we got to get songs like this in the movie that are fun to listen to. And then I was like, well, let's just put it. I'll come up with something, and we created this off of that.
It's great.
What's up? Milk me! My boy, that's right.
Sets up party animal Otis, clearly.
You're late. Come on.
He's a real winner, that one.
See, we still never got our stuff on the tables.
I think you're okay.
Bowls.
Here and there's cups and bowls. We're gonna have bowls with grass in it at every table. It's just like, certain ones landed, and other things I think we rushed through.
And then, of course, Earthquake.
Plus, it's a pretty lush environment. Like, you see shots like this, and it feels full and real enough.
That's thanks to the 3 billion characters we had.
Now, this was hard for the sound guys because I know stand-up way too well, so I kept wanting to tweak out the laughter just right. And Earthquake did a fantastic job playing Root the Rooster. You've seen more of him in the series.
Somebody pass me the cranberry sauce.
You see to watch closely when the turkeys, and you catch it, one of them sort of falls backward on his chair. It's hard to spot, but they...
Yeah. There he is.
Yeah,
Boom,
there
he's
he goes.
gone.
I always want to
Yeah.
curve those feathers more, but
you're right.
nice.
Yeah.
Can we go back and do that?
Everything
Let's
becomes
go,
a
let's
hand.
go. We got it.
My favorite are the hooves. Otis's hands, how they'll sort of... They're hand-like sometimes, hoof-like other times.
Sometimes they're panhandle-ish.
Just looking at everything inside that room, just wanted to say Danny, Joe, and Troy did an awesome job because there's so many assets inside that room.
Oh yeah, all our early design work. That was our Phil's design team. Just awesome,
There's a longer version of that on the deleted scenes. That was we had some really good animators on that one. They had a lot of fun with it.
And then Steve cut it out.
Oh, that's Steve.
This was actually the very, very first stuff we animated because when we started animation production, these two characters were the only characters we had rigged, and so
That's right.
we started this sequence, and this was the absolute first stuff we did.
Mr. and Mrs. Beatty.
Yeah, a lot of detail texture-wise. There's some duct tape on that.
On that chair, that's right. On his chair.
Wow.
Didn't you actually take a photograph of duct tape?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the tail end of that deleted scene. Otis's hat got stretched on there.
The fedoras.
You watch closely right there. You see little Pip's little hat land in front of Bessie.
I think Bruce threw that in there. Bruce Quay.
I love that shot right there.
So Owl's one of my uncredited performances. If you take the last Who, it would sound surprisingly like the guy that says "That's a lot of nuts" in Kung Pao.
If one will compare. Well, you did about 93 voices in here if you really count them up. All these, a lot of...
Played with a lot of logos on that pizza car.
Yeah. So we could read it.
Is that Aaron Perry's? Isn't that Aaron Perry's face on that?
Aaron
And
Perry, our
Steve's.
line producer, executive producer, has his face on the money.
Does he know
I'm
that?
on the money too?
I did a pack with you and him, so...
A big one with us celebrating our humanness.
Jeremy Collins animated that. One of the guys was one of the cleanup animators that we brought over in animation. I think that was one of his first shots. And
We actually took out this scene was deleted for a little while because as I was tightening up the movie, I just sort of arbitrarily pulled out anything that wasn't pushing the story
we were
forward.
a little fat here, but it
Which
just...
is a general rule, but it's not the rule. So then I was able to go back and reassess and say, okay, what was super entertaining that we took out? But it is a clever trick to be able to cut a movie down is to do a temporary cut that pulls out more than you need to pull out, and then things earn their way back in. Because I always loved this little scene.
yeah, it's funny. And
Rob Paulson.
Then was a twin an afterthought? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I don't think I wrote him in.
No, it was.
Yeah, he was an afterthought. And then, of course, another Oettinger classic.
Yes, I dove into the... If it's a name lame or weird, I'm usually the one doing the voice.
That was in the script, right? That little noise he did.
Yeah.
I think it was one of those. It was one of those things. I think once the sequence got added back in, we're like, oh, we'll have to design a character. Who can we use?
Yeah.
Like, why don't just put the same guy?
His twin.
And we're like, yeah, it'll be his twin.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't have money to build another one.
Based off of Jason Barlow. Remember at Halloween?
Oh, that's right.
It was interesting. This inspired by the Johnny Cash version of this song. I know you were very enamored with the.
Yeah, it's it's not like, obviously we're not really Barnyard's not a musical per se where people are singing within the dialogue, but I did like the idea of a world where the animals sort of like have a musical presence to them, So
That
this
guitar,
is a
by the way,
great song for Ben. I think the song was actually recommended by Billy Weber when he was editing. Oh, sorry, Phil.
I was just going to say the guitar that Ben was actually using, the design inspiration came from one of Jimi Hendrix's, well, it was his first guitar.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
That was a handmade guitar that had elastic bands on it.
Now, this sequence, there was a lot of controversy with the studio and the people that actually, care about the movie and wanted to, appeal to everyone that we might be too scary. And I was sort of the defender of keeping it a bit heavy, only because, I really thought it would be cool if Dag had this authentic sort of presence of yikes. And you don't see it a lot. A lot of times in animation, they'll give him a funny little buddy when there's a villain
sidekick
to take the edge off, so it's not too scary. So it was definitely a conscious choice, and it's always tricky being in that seat. But I thought it would just be very effective, and they show up later than they normally would in an animated family movie. And usually you see them right out of the gate. They'll set up whoever the villain is. These guys come in like a whirlwind 25 minutes in, and then boom,
And David Koechner, a great job as the vicious Dag.
Yeah, David Koechner just really rocked this part up.
He's known really more for comedy. I mean, that's what he does. He's
David's like a wacky comedy guy, but man, this is like really dialed.
Dag was fun to kind of play with. He was one of the characters we were actually really able to kind of sit there and go, okay, how do we want this guy to act? And we went through a bunch of stuff and decided, make him very dramatic, over the top.
Yeah.
Everything about him is big.
He's very theatrical, and it was, and David brings a slimy quality rather than like a big, heavy, mean
Jeremy
guy.
Irons kind of.
It's more of a weaselly character that would hide in the back, and that's what he does. He hides in the shadows. He waits until everything's basically safe, then he comes in for the final blow.
There's 6 of us, and only one old fat.
Because it's classic character stuff for him here. As he stands there, they all start moving forward, and ultimately, when it gets a little tight, he kind of backs up and waits.
An interesting thing on his look, we were trying to actually save hair count at the time, remember?
Yeah.
And ended up being a really cool hybrid of texture and hair.
Make it a little more scraggly.
Yeah, like a wild pig.
And I always thought that was just kind of a fun, tough thing that somebody would be walking for you for a fight, and you just lean back and starts playing the guitar. It just Ben. A lot of the setup of Ben here is really to, even for the audience, get it to the point where Otis could never step into his shoes. I mean, that he's just impossible shoes to fill, being Otis is such a numbnut, and then that sets things up properly because you buy it later when it looks like he can't pull it off.
There's in that scene back there where Dag starts to back up. We had 2 separate models for the characters on 4 legs and 2 legs, and
more than one model.
Yeah, and the 2-legged version had thumbs. So if you look closely at that shot, you see Dag backs up, and his paws, he's got an extra digit on them because it's actually the 2-legged model backing up. So he looks like.
Thanks. Appreciate you bringing that up.
That was TJ's shot. Suddenly one of his digits disappears.
Hey, at least it wasn't deleted, TJ.
Yeah.
So.
This is a great job by the effects team too, because this whole sequence with all the lighters and the texture and the original designs. I mean, I really think that this sequence outside in the rain is just wonderfully done. You see all the departments come together seamlessly.
I think this was Baker's sequence, right? Yes.
And then the goal here was that they went. Yeah, it was Steve.
Yeah.
And that when the goal here is that they, you think he's won, and then he drops, and
the blue goat was everywhere.
Yeah, the blue goat.
There was a lot of science went into choosing all their colors.
Yeah, before he had fur on him, he was just blue. So everywhere you see a goat, there was a blue goat.
Yeah, we all had blue goats.
Yeah.
Many hours
Later on, they
later,
got changed their colors up a little bit.
And now the scene that makes me cry.
nominated.
Well, the movie really spins 180 here because it is a little unexpected. I purposely planned it that way, probably because I've never really seen that happen before, and
I just love the animation here. This kills me.
And we went back and forth on whether to have these breaths from. There's one right there at the sigh when he goes limp, but Paul had. We were silent for a long time because we didn't have any audio. And then we got some, and it was great. Sam did it great, and Paul sort of mentioned, "Wow, did it play stronger before we had audio in there?" And it traps you too. Yeah. I think it gridlocks the viewer into this very personal moment, and the silence actually raises the stakes a little.
I had some friends that during that scene turned to me and they were upset. They were angry upset, and they go, "You didn't tell me people were gonna die."
Yeah, well,
they don't expect it.
Someone's working when people say, "I wish Ben hadn't died."
Yeah,
it's a good, really.
Can always bring him back.
The return of Ben, the zombie.
That says a lot about the movie and Sam, because it means essentially somebody likes somebody enough they don't want to see him go. It's nice. I'm gonna kill one of you when we're done here. I'm not gonna say which one.
Purposes. Steve's very consistent.
I'm not gonna say which one, but I can promise you you'll be sorely missed because we all like you that much.
Who will be?
I vote for Phil. Finally,
that clears me at least. Thank goodness.
I'm gonna beat one of you with another one of you.
It'll be collaborative in some fashion.
That was never.
I guess Todd's the one that's dying.
Yeah, I'm probably the one that's.
Okay, that spider has eyes. Just so you know. Just putting it out there.
What was that?
That spider has eyes.
Yeah,
the spider has eyes?
He does.
Oh, yeah, he does. At one point, he was too caricature-y. And
he was supposed to be a close-up at one point. But
yeah, and then one time, and then he was like kind of awful, like a horrible-looking spider.
Like a tick.
10, 2, 10, 2. Ow!
So this was this worked out really great. I should talk about Peter's song here too. This is a song Peter Gabriel wrote about his dad, and I had written him a letter because I really wanted to use the song in the movie, and that's ultimately his call. So he was very gracious to allow it, and it had no place in the movie. I basically wrote this version. We had dialogue scene before. I don't know if you remember early in the script, but I really wrote the entire sequence to the song, and it just merged really, really nicely and wrapped up the emotions of their relationship.
It's perfect for. Yeah.
There's a line you can barely hear where Root goes, "Does anyone have a pistol?"
Yeah.
And he actually makes a pistol out of his fingers.
At the time? Oh, that's great.
Therefore, I would like to nominate myself.
Yeah, and this scene went through a number of permutations.
Oh, yeah.
On a technical point of view, too.
Yeah, we had huge discussions about where the ball was being thrown, and I think it's over here.
Going.
No, wait.
Is it in that corner? Is it in this corner? Is that the right fur? Is that the right color?
Again, complex,
white, gray. Remember?
Yeah,
white,
blue, gray,
blue, beige.
With complexity rising when the director goes, "Yeah, whatever." It's a ball. Just let it bounce somewhere.
Not a lot to go off.
Just had to get you to
make sure they look in the right direction.
This was a great addition too.
Yeah,
ball and peanut butter.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on the peanut butter. How many versions?
The peanut butter thing was actually everybody wanted me to take it out because in the boards the joke didn't really play right.
Yeah, but
and it's one of those ones you got to kind of you kind of stick through until it's finished because to me it was just really funny.
The animator who worked on this, the one with the peanut butter part, Dane, he actually filmed the reference of giving peanut butter
to a dog. Yeah,
it's hilarious.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's
yeah,
funny.
It's really funny.
Great.
That grosses me out. There's a commercial like that, and I just have to change the channel. It's
Paul Marshall's son's name is on the jar.
Yes.
Yes, Liam's peanut butter.
Liam's peanut butter.
I always thought that was one of Steve Baker's kids.
No.
Steve Baker renamed one of his children Liam.
Just to get the
tell
credit
the story.
All right, I'll give it. It's Steve Baker's son Liam. It's not my son Liam.
It's one of my nephew's
Don't try and
name.
take credit for.
So I'm not going to tell him any different because that's what he thinks. Uncle Phil, we got my name in the movie.
Just don't listen to the commentary.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
The evil commentary.
Commentary, toss that. You don't.
TJ's going to name his firstborn Pig, so it's actually going to.
Wow. Again?
You can see this shot coming up. You see there's a horse that throws a chicken right there.
Yeah.
A goat throws that chicken. I don't know if it hits the wall or I think it was Eric Lachelle, or Le Poop as he was known in the
Le Poop.
Yeah, he was one of his little additives.
Pop the microphone there, Le Poop.
Le Poop.
So this led to a deleted scene where they sang a little song for Otis under the tree, and we tightened it up into
You'll see in the deleted scenes
something a little more fluid.
I think her look went through a few times too. Steve wanted a particular look when you cut.
Yeah, early on, I wanted the. You're talking about the early model with the big eyes.
The insect.
We had this. We had this. The original design had these huge eyes, and I thought it was really cute. But then we got to animation. Everybody's like, "Dude, we can't move anything on her face."
After having animated about 300 feet.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
That was great.
There's Boyle down there. You'll hear him go jerp.
Yeah, Boyle. It's his other part was cut out, so we had him jumping up against kind of a lurchy chick jumping up against Otis' leg.
It's a little Abel Salazar.
Now this is some craziness going on here. Crazy.
I probably should have left that master shot live
Just
longer,
linger,
but again,
see
on the
what's
boards, you set a certain length because you couldn't stand it too long. So I think that's where we got a little bit. It probably should have been twice as long. It's very cool stuff. If you back it up and look at it, there's like dodgeball going on, and
we insist back it up and look at it, please.
Yeah. Oh, this milk.
Milk and honey.
Yeah, that milk was...
Clearly, Freddy...
he apparently regurgitated somebody.
Freddy had some issues in that particular...
Yeah,
You have to play that one frame at a time. It's hilarious.
We insist, play it a frame at a time.
Absolutely. 3 times over.
I think things got a little maybe slow for some of the... I know that we were looking at some of these shots and dailies towards the very end of the film, and the only difference was that Charlie Winter, one of the lighting sequence supervisors, went in and added true volumetrics to some of the lights, and we were looking at a lot of the shots just to see a little volumetric light back there, but...
Yeah.
That's completely uninteresting, I'm sure.
No, I was
riveted.
And now can you explain volumetric light to the audience?
Shut everyone down with
I can't take my eyes
fascination.
off you, Todd.
This whole sequence is a good, background. The background animation group did a great job. If you watch too closely, you'll notice that everyone's constantly changing positions.
And scale.
As I said over and over again, no one's gonna know.
Yeah.
And some David Andrews animation right there. It's the funny part about that scene, I think, is the Freddy in the foreground. You tend to look at Otis, but if you watch Freddy in the foreground, it's some funny stuff.
Now, Wild Mike,
This is not your normal character.
Yeah.
now you were watching like Wild Animal Kingdom. How did we get Wild Mike?
Well, Wild Mike is he started as I didn't even have the look in my head at first. It was just he's like the embodiment of kid energy to me, because kids really like just jumping around. It's like it's not like you have to jump around for something.
Wild Mike
it's
has
just,
that in spades.
Yeah,
Yes.
so he's basically dictated by music. He.
I just want the plush toy, Wild Mike. That's what I want.
Yeah, with some wild motor in it
Yeah,
that
just
he just goes
crazy.
berserk in your house.
Please pay attention to the
Sky?
the shaggy dog, his stand-up bass. Now it's small. The first half of the sequence, it's a stand-up bass. The second half, he's playing away.
That's true. More impressively, though, look at the shaggy dog. And what a lot of people would never know is we used Duke's body.
Yeah.
So rather than designing a separate sheepdog, for the longest time at screenings, people thought Duke was in the band, and he just hadn't had the hair grown off of him yet. And that was an experiment. We had no idea what was going to happen, and we got lucky because he looked real cool.
It looks great.
Wild Mike, on the other hand,
Yeah.
took for...
Wild Mike
Quite a
was
few models.
16 years, I think it took Wild Mike to
We started him in 85. And
right before Steve had written
Well, you got to
that.
create a skeleton underneath so that you can't tell what he is. So certain things were too visible. You'd see too much of his mouth, too much of his eyes, and I wanted him to more like peek through.
yeah.
At one point, we're playing with amphibious skin. Remember, Steve just trying different stuff with him.
Turtle looks now. That was done at the very end.
That gets a laugh too when people see that.
So these are great moments to strive for. This all started with me not knowing how to get out of it. When I was writing, I thought there's got to be a moment where he gets so busted that no one would know how would you ever get out of this. And then I'll write myself. Write myself out of a
write
corner.
yourself out of that.
Yeah.
That's
And it's probably our funniest sequence. All the farmer continually getting abused.
funny the way that plays out too, because you'll hear a few chuckles, but most when he gets hit for the first time, it's like, ooh.
Well, you know why?
But then the second and third time, people are just
laughing their heads off.
It's funny you bring that up. I'll tell you why it works that way. It's because Otis is defending him. And that's it really is. If Otis was not defending him, that ooh and ouch would continue and get worse. But as long as you got one character trying to stop it, you can do anything you want to react. And it'll stay really funny. Yeah.
We gotta take care of him. We gotta
whack him.
There will be no whacking.
And I love this too because it's a funny scene. But this is the first time Otis does take charge, and it drives the movie, and I love it. And it works on all levels.
I love this banter right here too.
Oh, and the vegetarian sequence.
Yeah, I have an affinity for aimless dialogue, and it rolls out of these guys really well.
Yeah, it's a good ensemble little riff here.
This was a bit, very tricky. I mean, the sequence to lay it all out, and with all this scene had a lot of characters.
Yeah,
and everything, and Steve Colby and Victor and the layout guys did a good job.
Yeah, and then seamlessly need to be integrated with the backgrounds. It was probably the most tie-in performance-wise we had to do with foreground and background characters.
Yeah, they're all intermingled.
Yeah.
He's got to figure it out.
This kid's his idea.
So this was also very early work that we had to go back and redo a lot of various textures and...
Yeah, like that sock, Steve.
Yeah, well, it wasn't popping in front of the sock.
I know,
because Dimitri had to make it look real.
Right.
So went through a lot of different books, right? I guess it was always Charlotte's, and then it
had to be some kind of animal human book.
Originally,
that shot to me could have been 20 seconds longer.
There's something neat about it though. It's like it goes before you can quite get it, and it makes you want to see it again. That's I like stuff like that.
That was an Eric Lee's Fatty Lee's shot.
This is one of my favorite moments. I love just Freddy just beaming him.
We need something bigger.
Can I have the apple?
Tino Insana as the pig.
As the pig.
Nestle.
When there's silence, nestling.
I always wanted that book to be upside down, but just the staging of it didn't work because it had to be on the wrong side.
I think it was supposed to be though. I really think that might have just been a texture application error that I didn't catch. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think even in the boards it was upside down to make it look more cockeyed when he was sprawled out below the tree.
Again, I blame Dimitri.
This will be over soon.
I'm very fallible.
He is taller than you.
Yes, by a large amount.
Will you stop doing that?
Well, unless you get it.
This is a dissolve here, but the original one that David had added a little thing. If you look at Freddy at the bottom there, you don't see it anymore, but he used to sort of, like Otis stepped on his tail or something. He did a big goose thing that the dissolve kind of went over. We always saw it in the dailies.
And now the farmer brain damage for the rest of the movie, which is great. It's great. It sets
That's why we
up
don't see him anymore, because he has a twitch.
Kinda.
Well, yeah, he's a...
Little made in Canada inside the boot there, Phil.
The boot?
Yep. That's right.
The boot.
The boot.
Now, this next shot was an error of mine. See, the framing of this particular shot was framed this way so we could see the animation for approval, but it was supposed to be a wider master. And by the time I remembered that fact, it was a finished shot, and I thought, it's not that big of a deal. But
the workbook, it was wider.
It was wider. Oh, definitely wider. Oh, that was an animation punch in, and then no one ever backed the camera out again. Got approved.
Oh, yeah, so it's our fault.
Todd and TJ. Todd and DJ, man.
Todd.
Well, mostly TJ, I think.
Well, no,
I know.
All right, yeah.
Just say you're sorry and we'll move on.
I'm sorry.
Too late.
This is Rob Paulson and Cam Clark. Rob Paulson is Peck.
And I love this animation
the light came out really good too. I like that.
The animation on Freddy coming up is fantastic.
And I like this cue that we used. It's like from some music library.
Fresh music library,
$5.99 a cut.
Boneless white meat.
I love this.
Yeah. That's another
great.
Ryland Davies shit there. Guy that did the cramp animation there.
It doesn't get a lot of laughs right there, though. Oh, I love his little finger thing at the end.
Who animated that?
Ryland
That was
Davies.
Ryland.
It's beautiful.
That's fantastic. I mean, I think what it is, I don't think there was like a huge subplot set up between the two of them like we had early on.
Yeah.
So that might kind of curb the laughs a little bit, but it's just very cool.
Watch Ig here.
Looks the wrong way. I love it.
Ig was a really fun character to develop.
Yeah. I think he's the most likable character in the film. He's just so great.
As we go through, you eventually develop, you find traits that are working really well, and they push it through the rest of the movie. And Ig is behind everyone else mentally.
Yeah,
no matter what's going on.
He jumps onto somebody's emotion.
Yeah.
John DiMaggio as Ig.
Scott Bullock is Eddie.
Maurice LaMarche.
No, Maurice LaMarche is Ig.
Is Ig.
DiMaggio's Bud.
Oh, that's right.
Let's go.
And then young Steve Odekirk as Snotty Boy.
As Snotty Boy, because we couldn't find anyone annoying enough.
You had that in your wheelhouse. You were always going to be Snotty Boy. There was nobody else who was even.
Another first animation production.
Maria Bamford as.
Can we talk about the dress pattern? Why we had to change it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Wow, that's.
It was actually because of her
She was a little
messages
busty
We're moving too much with the original pattern.
with the animation.
Remember that, Phil?
Oh, yeah.
Change it to blue. Settle down the flower.
Again, that's our fault.
How'd you find
And the farmer, I didn't know I was going to ultimately be the old farmer guy, though.
Oh,
that
that's
was
right.
just when we were scratching
You're
audio.
Right. You're right. We knew
at
you were
the
going to be Snotty
clubhouse.
Boy, but not.
I was just
Mr.
riffing
Rubini.
all this stuff, and it was.
People quote that all
And
the
then
time.
you didn't know
Cow
Maria.
farm. I can't even do the words anymore. It's just cow farm.
And you nailed it at your house, and we just used the same audio because it was perfect. And
I
then
still think he looks like Jeff Sergey.
Or Abe Bagoto. Didn't we have to get clearance from Abe's people?
From Abe.
more Abe than
No,
Jeff.
it was me that brought up the Abe thing because when his hat was off. But I just think because Jeff did the drawings, I was like, "What are you doing? A self-portrait?"
Okay, this is animated by TJ, right?
That's right.
Look at those ears.
Yeah, that was my first shot of the movie.
lead scene in the whole movie.
Now this sequence coming up, we did a lot of this whole Jersey Cow stuff was some of my favorite stuff, and we had Eric Walls was one of our animators that did a lot of this Jersey Cow stuff, and he was really good at that sort of quippy, punchy, goofy Jersey Cow stuff. You'll see some of this stuff come.
Now these cars, these sort of extreme car leaps that defy gravity and all this jazz, all David Andrews. I told him I would mention it, B&C couldn't make it here.
Yeah, you want
and I always wanted
Tone it down a
tone
little
it down, bring it back, and it turned out wonderful. Also, I believe there's a gopher. Isn't there a gopher? David stuck a gopher in the engine.
He lived through it.
Right as they pull out of the driveway.
Because the engine was so detailed that it was just, the model was so heavy that you couldn't animate.
That they pulled the engine and stuck a gopher in there.
So it's running on.
Gopher.
Exactly.
There's a wheel in there that he's on. I think this shot coming up, I think originally it was we animated the wrong character saying the line, and I think it was Maurice that noticed that. He said, "Hey, I was supposed to say that."
Yeah.
And I think that happened in the hill serving sequence too. Originally, some lines that Pig said, or I love that.
I love that. I love watching the sequence because he's the
home.
most awful child in
30-second
history.
abs.
Is that what's on that DVD?
Yeah, the abs is the 30-second abs. Those ones you buy and then don't quite get around to. So he's somewhat conscious, but then decided not to roll with the program.
Well, I love that he's so indignant here, but he does go right to bed.
He does go to bed.
Yeah, I mean, he puts up a little, and then he goes to bed. Doesn't
Do what I
he?
want.
This got added. At one point, I just did we just add this, TJ? I just stuck in the extra line of,
originally we were
you've
thinking
come to
of-
the wrong place.
Yeah.
Dang.
And we were going to put Jimmy Neutron
Jimmy
as the
Neutron
doll
doll.
instead of that, but then
Yeah.
someone said, no, they'll think we're making fun
That
of it.
was
We
me.
weren't.
I was a little worried that, our friends at DNA,
Right.
I didn't want them to think we were doing it. Beans he gets slammed against the wall. I mean, I didn't want to think that there was a...
And of course, you got the Mountie that's hanging off the bed.
All sorts of random
thumbs.
Canadian references. There's
What are you talking about?
I had to laugh because Bill, when he saw a Mountie, didn't know what they were. He was like, "How does your secret police go around hiding wearing these damn uniforms?"
Isn't that it's Yogi Bear's nemesis?
Yeah.
Did you guys end up animating that snake? Because we.
No.
No, he moves.
Someone did.
Yeah, he's moving really slow.
He's doing this. Up, down, up.
Now, this was a great, this is a song that Aerosmith sang. A lot of people don't know it, but it's actually an old gospel tune in the public domain now, and it's been covered by a ton of artists. Mostly it's really old gospel, different kind of it's got this really classic sort of you gotta move, you gotta move, and the lyrics are the same. It says that when the Lord gets ready, you gotta move. So the vibe of that message kind of fit the movie too. It was just a coincidence because I dug the song. The Stones actually covered it, but they covered it. I found this all out after the fact, but they covered it in much more the original style.
More the traditional way, right?
Bud's reaction is so funny.
Is that your favorite fence there, Phil? The toothpick?
Oh, there's my favorite fence.
We got John DiMaggio.
It was an
Take that
honor
damn
to
fence out of
animate
there.
the voice of Bender.
Yeah, John plays
Nice
Bender.
DiMaggio plug. Thank you, TJ. It was very nice. John's agent, TJ.
Some more Eric Walls stuff.
And John did this really
love that
funny riff at the end
That we
as
ended
the
up-
cop that went on and on and on and on. And it was really funny, but only if it went on and on and on and on. And we couldn't really, it steered away from the movie too much, unfortunately. It was great.
Just going crazy. These kids get all hopped up on
And how we find Maria Bamford, Steve? You didn't know her, but you knew of her?
No, I had jotted Maria's name down like 4 years ago or something. I saw her do stand-up on TV, and I just thought she was really unique. So it was the day before we were bringing the actors in to scratch in the dialogue, and I went, oh, Maria Bamford. So I had them give her a shout, and she showed up. I think she nailed the whole part in one session, and I never saw her again, or maybe one follow-up.
I think maybe one pickup, yeah. That was
this
about
Gary
it.
line right here,
Yeah,
right?
the
Gary.
Yeah.
Don't think I can't call again, Gary.
Yeah,
it's
she like that
Gary?
because
First
she
name
calls
basis, yeah.
911 so much she knows who the guy is.
I always thought it was Deary. I didn't know it was Gary.
Yeah, it's meant to be Gary.
Oh.
I probably picked a bad name. I should have used Balgini. No, probably not.
Maybe not.
Balgini.
Yeah.
The slow-mo.
This was impromptu. Yeah, we just kind of came up with this on the fly.
Yeah, wasn't that Hunter?
Yeah, I think
Hunter's idea.
we animated all this stuff here, and
Yeah, that's pretty much the extent of my job. Is I just go great.
so we threw in some other stuff too.
Yeah.
I thought the effects guys did a great job with the car
Oh yeah, that's
coming down and all the
it's
the
it's
wheat
awesome
flame
shot.
on it,
Actually, as the car is in slow motion, you can see the wood behind there kind of spinning around.
spinning around. Yeah.
Okay, hurry up, fellas. They're right over there. Oh, milk me. Okay, here we go. Milk me. Jeez, these guys are big.
A lot of lighting cheats have to happen in these sequences too, just to get the characters to pop, and pulling a layer of blue out of their skin. Conan did a great job.
This is the weird Eddie eye moment that always. Oh wait, did they fix that? He always had a weird
We were
eye,
doing
right?
fixes all the way to the end, so it might have got fixed.
There was a little thing at the very end of that with the cop that used to be pretty funny, where he's out of breath and
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Exactly, yeah.
Watch the fence here. You can see there's a little thing right here where the fence is there.
Yeah, fences change.
I love this part too.
you have to watch the car in the background too.
They made it up that hill quite a.
Yeah,
they did a good
Well,
job.
they can actually hyperspace. They can hyperspace. I just didn't build that into the plot line.
And they helped the Beaties out with their car, so that's very important.
Yeah.
This is where Otis sort of realizes that his dad wouldn't approve of his actions and what's he doing with his life.
Todd redid that shot a few times too.
Yeah, it came out really nice. I mean, a lot of stuff. I mean, you guys should talk about the. Seemed like the subtlety of the performance is in the Barnyard. Sometimes, I think it was maybe tricky for some of the animators because there's so little movement.
Yeah, and some of the stuff starts to get more about like the eyes and just reading things in the face, and some of the characters are always tricky because just the structure of their face was so non-human-like. Sometimes you couldn't get what you wanted out of them, and you had to sort of do things that weren't what you were originally thinking to get that emotion or whatever.
Yeah,
There's some really good stuff coming up right here with Daisy at the
yeah.
chair.
Daisy Otis and the
close-ups.
Chase and a lot of close-up stuff, and Mark Levine did animated fantastic shot there, and
Hang on a second.
Sometimes though, some of the little subtleties that were put in there are almost too big. I know there was a lot of eye twitching put in there.
yeah, that became popular. That became popular in house as the Barnyard eye twitches. Yeah.
We eventually had to pull those back.
And Courtney Cox's big scene here with Kevin.
Yeah, Courtney did a great job. It's very tricky sometimes when you're like you have to be the perfect, the perfect human, or a cow in this case. But she just, but Daisy's really, her role is to just sort of be extremely sweet and kind of hang in there with Otis.
This was our sort of another reanimated scene when the nature of the dialogue changed fairly drastically here about Daisy's backstory.
Funny, we're not even related.
Let me say quickly while we got everybody here, because are these chases? Did we have two different textures?
We did have
exact same texture.
That was the directive.
Even the model has the same chips in it.
And it's exactly the same.
Start.
Was it me?
Well, I don't think it was you, but
because the knots, it can't be me because the knots are in the exact same place. Somebody else pointed it out to me, and I went, "Ooh, that must have been an error," because
they're from Walmart, and they're
yeah, exactly. They would have had to have been manufactured. Yeah,
it's a mold. They're plastic wood.
It's the only fake one.
Yeah, see how the knots match up exactly.
I don't actually remember the models looking like that.
Oh, good way to get out of that one.
And one of them they threw.
Yeah, nice.
All right,
and that was smooth.
All I'm saying is they should be different.
All right, I gotta go. We gotta go fix them.
The tension in the room.
Can we fix it for the DVD release? And they're both Canadian.
I know what happened. We were both told no. That's
couldn't go back.
Probably by Todd.
I think it was
communication. And Mike was going to do it for us.
No, I think it was communication because we don't speak Canadian, and you guys were.
I guess I was actually thinking to talk about the Barnyard wood texture, but I guess I'm not going to do that anymore.
Look at that. See, is it not
kind of identical?
And notches are over.
Plus, didn't their sizes have to be changed? Because really, they'd be so much larger than chaise lounges, really, like the cows.
Yeah, the cows are.
This is almost as good as the Sky stuff earlier. I like this.
Yeah,
my chair's hot.
Dynamic.
There were a lot of problems with.
Here's a scene that got ruined.
Wow, that's a nice. Well, where do you go from there?
That'd be nice.
Where do you go from there?
I had to get away from the chairs.
Can we talk about that rabbit?
That'd be a nice turn in the commentary. I'd like that.
Todd and TJ, the rabbit.
In a word, surly. Okay.
That's a rabbit? I always thought
it's more like a coyote with problems.
There was a couple of. We came up with some fun
genetic mutation coyote.
He mated with Dag.
There were a couple of fond sort of names that we gave some of the creatures that, like the monkey cougar, there was a little cat that sort of, I think the lighters affectionately dubbed him the monkey cougar because he kind of looked like a guy in a suit.
Yeah, we have a few strange looking animals around. This was another sequence where we were trying to keep the keep the fear factor up on the coyotes without making it overtly scary.
What do you want to be, a hero?
I remember I always thought this scene took place in the snow because
it was white for so long.
Yeah, it was white, and the way Otis slid like that, I thought they were on a frozen lake or something.
Linda did a good job on that texture on that.
Yeah, very nice.
It's beautiful. And the lighting and stuff here. Dag's a bit more magenta than he appears in a lot of this shit.
Yeah, we talked about that. I was going to change it, and I thought, well, with the it kind of gave it a neat vibe, so we left it. It's a lighting thing. It's really like that because there's more blue in there's more blue in the light.
Yeah, actually, it looks cool.
Where were you? Were you off?
It was disheveled Otis that you were toning down a little bit on his. Remember that?
What's that?
We were pushing Otis a little bit to be a little more messed up, but I think he landed really nice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's got a little bit of a dirty texture on him.
I just think you guys did a great job staging this, Steve, because Dag looks like he's about 6.5 feet tall. So it's a good. I mean, he's a tall coyote. That Dag. He's
like 6'2".
Okay, sorry. North
and
of
Otis
6.
is on all fours. We actually did a lot of work on this sequence. It was much longer at one time, and there was a lot of cutting and experimenting, and it turned out really nice.
Make everyone feel all safe, and we'll be seeing you tomorrow night. That's a date. See you around.
So the goal here was really to leave Otis in a situation where, was so confident that he could just take these guys out. And even with Ben, he was always very cocky in terms of like, well, hey, they're tiny, we're big. What's a big whoop? And, I would say the whole movie, this is the moment where he either grows up or doesn't. Because even though he's had the right thoughts in the past, this was really the moment where he's like, oh, I'm not the guy. Everything isn't at all like I thought it was. And life is a lot harder than I thought it was.
And Phil, can you draw that panel 15 times? I remember that one.
And reanimate that walk about 1,000 too.
Well, my struggles become everyone's struggles.
Then it went here.
We had you were talking about subtleties before, and Otis's walk that he did in a few shots before that when he was walking away, his walk had so many different kinds of subtleties that you would change one little thing and the whole walk would be off.
This whole
really
movie,
studied why.
I would have never saw that coming. We had so many discussions about his walks, and a lot of it's probably because he's so small-legged.
Yeah.
It was easy for it to feel odd.
Right.
Yeah.
He's basically a light bulb with little short legs.
Yeah. This is nice. Chris Costa, huh? This shot. Animated this shot.
For a minute, I actually thought I could take your place.
Still never quite got composed.
What, the composition? Phil is like a
Phil's been
monster
down
on composition.
This, for the last
No, but I really care about composition. It's a big deal to me, but Phil's like really beyond excellent at composition, so.
It's okay, buddy.
I like it when people are more picky than me.
And I'm not. But I wish I was. I can't do it.
Do you have a tissue?
It's another.
Kevin did a really nice job hitting all the ranges in this. With Otis. I never was a fan of that tree.
No, me neither. It looked.
Yeah, I don't even know where it came from. It just showed up one day, like late in the game, and I'm like, oh, great, I have an awful tree. But then I let it go. Just so you know, I let it go.
The sentence you don't hear very often is, I have an awful tree.
Yeah, well, it's the first time in my life that happened.
Usually a tree takes some time.
Well, it was like too bushy or something. Like it'd be great if it was a tree like in a real field in real life, because I'd go, oh, well, what is it? It's not its fault. That's how it grew. But this one was built by humans.
We fabricated.
So it obviously worked, because that's exactly what we were going for.
Okay, all right.
No big whoop. Continue your day.
Come on, Otis. We'll do what you
That slop picture.
See those little duckies.
Slop texture on pig. It's pretty cool.
Oh, I love him when he's muddy. Yeah.
That was the big round we did of whether he's going to have it.
Yeah.
Apparently
exactly.
the bee flew into his nose between that cut and this.
It was really quick.
Notice that. It's a
well,
quick
again,
bee.
it probably shouldn't have been that big.
Yeah, we should
That bee's the size of a walnut.
You guys can handle things better than I ever could.
Sure, Otis, if you say.
They live near a reactor of sorts.
Pip is
and
moving.
it's-
I'm just going to...
Oh, did Pip move around?
Yeah, Pip jumps around. Yeah.
He's all over the place. Yeah, that's great though.
He's upset, though. Makes sense.
It's my favorite.
Now this is a great hidden. Sorry, this is a great hidden little secret area Otis has that will only be uncovered by the farmer if he moves the bag. I mean, other than that, it's a really clever hiding spot. Other than that,
I
fact.
just like it. What does a cow pack?
He's got his udder bomb.
He has udder bomb in there, and
Sure.
his leather care, I believe, landed
Fishing
here.
reel.
We used to have. Yeah.
If you're hurting, let me help. I'd like to help.
This stuff was tough to animate.
It really was. We struggled with this sequence. Courtney did a really nice job on the lines. Kevin did a great job in the animation. We were always... Now, I think the block, honestly, that'll always roll into, like, if there's ever a problem in that arena, it's usually my fault, because it's when a sequence basically working in the animatic, you don't scrutinize the boards. So then it rolls to you guys. It rolls the layout. It rolls to you guys. And the camera may not have been dialed because I didn't scrutinize it because it was working in general. So yeah, I focus on the areas of the movie that need improvement, and I think that's why I think the camera, like that cut that just happened there,
Like a jump.
yeah, it's like a jump cut.
Yeah.
So it was in the boards, and we ended up matching it, and that problem hit us late. Even that last cut to this one, it's not really right. We smoothed it out, so most people aren't going to notice it, but I think that's why we struggled with it.
It's really easy to make the characters do funny things with their face, and then when you want to get them to try and sort of be emotional and sort of more serene and whatnot, it gets a little more tricky depending on the character.
Yeah. Again, it goes back to the subtleties, the little things that work in there.
It's Teresa animated that. Teresa Swanson.
Otis, the coyotes. It just happened. They took Etta, Hannah, maybe 6, 7 others. I don't know.
I like that shot.
I like that shot too because it counted as footage we could push through animation for the quota.
The mighty quota.
We should mention Julie Peng, our animation coordinator, did a very good job for us, and those shots like that, she loved. Free footage.
She only smacked us around a little bit, and it didn't hurt that much.
Yeah, broken.
You liked it.
Broken rib. 2 broken ribs.
They're strong. I was just wondering what a stronger man might do.
Here comes the backwards facing horse.
Yeah, here
watch,
coming
it's at
up.
the end of the scene.
If you focus on that one
On the
cat-
right.
I think that cow's the one I'm interested in because he's just kind of gridlocked.
And there he is.
He's got their back. He's looking back.
Keep and watch.
Yeah, he's making sure they don't come back.
Be proud to.
This part coming up is kind of funny too. The distance he
distance,
walks.
yeah.
Well, everything was a mismatch. Our colors had a hard time matching the grass. So it all got kind of cheated nicely here at the end, but it's a little bit of a challenge. A lot of people may not know it, but you really spend a lot of time. You know, these shots go in and out of so many different hands with so many different artists and animators that a lot of times just part of the organic element that'll come up is mismatching. Yeah, even though everybody's doing a great job, but it's just not quite the same look. And then you come in and you basically fix the ones that are a big bump and massage other things.
Not to mention on that you were just talking about, there was like 3 different sets used from the time of the down shot to the time he gets to the fence.
Yeah, adding to the complexity of it, yeah.
This shot's amazing. I love this.
Yeah, this all started with a drawing that Phil and his guys did.
Love it.
And we built the junkyard pretty much around that one drawing the vibe. We got rid of the sharp clouds though, right? At one point we had the first drawing had these really kind of sharp angle clouds. But I knew if I said anything else about a cloud shape, everybody would pass out. Their eyes would roll back and die, so I went...
Had a lot of fun with the texture department on this.
Yeah,
How did we end up with those though?
With what? These clouds?
Those clouds.
Honestly, because there was a need for like the clouds to be moving. So if they were stylized at all, we ran into a problem because then they had to be CG.
Gotcha.
And it would, you know what I mean? Just like when we did the swirls.
And it flattened out when you put it on the grid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was like, well, if you want them to move, they got to be organic. So we went that route.
I believe the moon makes another appearance in this sequence too.
Moons,
Well, there's one I left in. We deleted a lot of moons, but there's one. Like there was one in that shot.
Yeah.
And it got pulled, but it was left in one of these where there would be a big junk pile there. I think it's this one.
Upshot?
That one. There's really a big heaping mound, but the angle was up so much that I just went with it because even though it's not possible, it doesn't bump when you watch it.
The amount of modeling that went into this sequence is amazing. Like all that junk is actual junk.
Yeah.
There's little springs in the ground that was all modeled.
Yeah, there's
really complex.
And there's fake out too, though, right? Because some of it's just one big modeled hunk, like a heap.
Yeah.
Right. One thing's one big piece.
But then we have a lot of other stuff that's laying around.
As a team, we actually went to a junkyard
added onto it.
Yeah.
And had great. Yeah, the whole crew went to a couple of junkyards, and we had great reference from there.
Yeah, cool.
On pushing me around, but I'll stand my ground, and I won't back.
I don't think we went anywhere.
You weren't in the texture department, were you?
As animators, we didn't go.
We got taken to Olamendi's, I think.
All right.
And by the way, the majority of the cars, in fact, almost all of them, happen to be the cars from my past that I've had since I was 16 years old. Every single
Phil
one
has
of them.
3,000 cars.
So one of them's a Model T with a crank.
We don't go to his house anymore.
Model T.
Well, they're just taking the base and then it was remodeled and reconfigured. And
Yeah.
The animation department did come to the clubhouse for the record.
Ah, well, look at that.
This shot was Mark Levine, and he was so, tired of coyotes by that point, having to animate several of them. They're all hand animated, all piled on, and then I had to be the unfortunate bearer of the bad news that he'd have to do the one where they all jump off.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And I think he was about to say his goodbyes at that point. So I'm sorry, Mark. But he did it.
He's got the thumbs poster there on the bus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got a World Thumb Wrestling poster on the bus.
Gotta have
World
that.
Thumb Wrestling coming soon.
I see the fire got really nailed, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out really nice.
Yeah, a lot of iterations of fire.
Is that Aaron Walsman? Did he do that? Noodles?
Yeah.
Noodles.
I saw so many of them. I don't know who did the final one. Was it Aaron?
Elliott too had a good round of that.
Yeah.
It all started from the thimble fire. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That fire was a good marker because my scene, or Todd's sequence basically ended there and mine picked up right here. And anytime we need to know where things were, you could kind of base it right on where that fire pit was. Yeah. Easy to maneuver around.
It's probably the biggest liberty we took with that crimson red sky.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really red, but it kind of played cool in the sequence.
Gotham City. I love that part.
I think it would have definitely worked better with those clouds, but obviously you'd have to overcome the technical issues.
Well, plus I like the movement.
You may want to take a couple steps back.
Interesting note, we were actually kicked out of the junkyard at one point because you can't take photos of
the junk?
No, but we had everything we needed at that point.
Well, you wouldn't want anybody taking your...
Apparently there's some stolen vehicles.
The soul of your junk with a photo.
That cut right there always felt kind of weird.
Yeah,
when it lands.
We had to cheat around that.
I love this right here. This cracked me up when I saw this. I think, is this also Eric?
Yeah, Fatty.
And Paula.
That was Paula, yeah. On the phone.
Yeah, she did a good job on this.
Of course, I'm the effeminate coyote scream.
Yes, you are. You do come in with your little cameos, don't you? Yes.
Ooh. Well, got a little rattled with the car coming
It was
in.
at that moment for me, I felt, I think they're going to win this. I think at that point, clearly, the tide is turning.
I prepped for 3 weeks for that part, going around the office. Woo!
I want to talk about the spots, Steve, on all the animals, mainly the cows. We spent a lot of time with you working out, patterns, especially Otis.
Yeah, well, Otis, main character, so we really spent too much time discussing where his black dots would be. The fact that he's black around his eyes is actually a huge challenge for lighting, and so lighting really did a good job of digging out his brows for us, because a lot of times being surrounded all white and then black is really hard to see the detail.
And the challenge of not hiding the animation that was already on there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we would always see him just gray or...
Yeah, he was all white scale or grayscale, and you could see everything so good.
I got something special for you.
As soon as that shot comes up, it's amazing how kids connect right to that box.
Oh, they know, yeah. They go.
You would hear you go, oh!
That's what's cool about that song, too. It had an organic, whoa, like leading up to his...
Which stayed Rednecks, right? That's still the Rednecks.
Redneck song, North Mississippi All-Stars version.
Mr. Voight did a nice job on the wood on that.
And then North Mississippi All-Stars also did Mississippi Mud to Hill Surfing and Hillbilly Holla.
It tastes like chicken! 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 Come here, you furry, long-legged chicken!
Whoa, take it easy.
I look at that shot and I see up there's TJ.
I beg your pardon.
That's how you move.
Pardon? That's how I move?
Like, that's how I picture you throwing the small people off your shoulders.
Did it just get a little creepy? I think
a little bit.
So.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
There was Hannah.
TJ, would you say, like, in the film, this was more difficult sequences?
Yeah.
I think.
Just because the amount of characters.
Yeah.
And you also have to choreograph how... There's so much fighting. You got to choreograph the fights.
It's really tough, and it's harder to... There's not as much of a blueprint because the boards are a little more, the editor's taking a lot of liberty. So just in terms of the setting of where is this taking place, where's that,
Right.
Some of it worked to our advantage because you can cheat a little bit, but...
So this end stuff too, we had several of the shots. So when it was coming down to the wire, we, sort of were the thorn in the side of Joy Karamichi, who was a supervising coordinator of, I think, at least one of every department.
Yeah, at one point in the movie.
And so, sort of came at the end and all was forgiven, I think. But
I always felt like the movie could end at that point. That's what's neat about it. I feel it. And you keep going.
Punch up the comedy, yeah.
I think the plot ends there, and then the story ends with the baby being born.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really true. The story, that's how I look at it when I write anyways. I really see the story and the plot as two different through lines that need to fit together really well, but they each have their own agenda.
There's still some exciting stuff coming up here.
Yeah.
About 3 or 4 shots back
Thanks,
in the last sequence, I remember, I think it's when Otis goes to catch the thing that Miles just kicked up to him. The animator, Neil, kept one character, Bud, you can barely see, but it was he just kept Bud in his T-pose just because you were never going to see it. No, when he's back.
Background.
Yeah, okay, because he does it because Ig does it in the motorcycles.
I think that
I was delivered, but I thought it was not finished at one point. Yeah.
Yeah, there's an Ig in his... Oh, so he put one of his arms sort of down.
There you go. I remember seeing that.
Oh, God.
No, that's not the shot.
Now, this is Paul Calder, right, on music here?
By the way, what you mentioned, too, we have some great characters in that diner. So that was... that was
for a fleeting moment.
Yeah, for what a short sequence it is. It got dialed up really nicely.
That was one of the things, I think, right off the bat that got me the most excited about the film was when I first came and saw all of Bill's...
Bill Schwab. Bill Schwab did
amazing.
Mark Beam had the original cow sculpture that we patterned Otis off of, and then Dale Hendrickson and Bill Schwab came in.
Took it from there, yeah.
Building the other characters. Dale worked a lot on the core characters, and then Bill refined all the characters and then created pretty much every other character in the film.
Phil, did you see the bike in front of the diner? Finally got it in there.
Is it in there?
Yes. Is that another one of Phil's bikes?
No, it's my bike. My motorcycle.
Was it pink? Was it a
No, it's
Vespa?
black. It's black. A Vespa.
That you call Sally?
This is where Danny Glover turns into Bobby McFerrin.
It's kind of a Jim Neighbors kind of a thing.
I actually, anybody can sing falsetto is the theory behind
We
that.
wanted to put Robin Williams.
I really love this track. I mean, I wrote the sequence.
It was the original Barnyard demo 8 years ago, 8 years ago. We had this.
Worried about what? I so had that covered. It's okay.
We never knew what the actual words were that he was singing. So we thought it sounded like "Freedom is a moo."
That must have been...
Freedom is a moo. I can do falsetto.
Nice.
Can or...
What?
Have to.
Yes, this is the culmination here is watching the last 3 years of your life.
Yeah.
And she also mentioned Jeff Carson, our music editor, where a lot of times he's, he'll write it and I had in my head where certain pieces of the music should be to certain pieces of the action, and you can't always cut it that way once you start chopping a song up. So Jeff did an awesome job of putting that together, and also should mention John Debney, our composer, who did awesome job on the score.
Man, that looks like it hurts.
Those last scenes. Remember we had so much trouble getting them together, but they look great. They came together fine.
Yeah, really nice.
She's gonna be all right though, huh?
And this, the point of this whole is, the closure of, Otis ultimately was adopted by Ben, and he ends up stepping in and taking the father role with this little calf.
With a little comedy relief in here with a cow and a half thing, Steven.
Yes. Always get something entertaining in there. Yes. With a tear and a wink and a smile.
Now, look-wise, there was a debate here whether she was going to be the baby was going to be slimy or have any kind of...
No, and there wasn't a debate. Actually, there wasn't a debate.
That was your debate,
Dimitri wanted the baby to be slimy and all real and gross, and I said no. I think that was the...
Dimitri was locked out of the building.
I guess one could call that a debate. It was just a short one.
It was real quick.
Took Dimitri's Omation building key away at that point.
Yeah.
There goes the fob. Fob was gone.
Really didn't think cutting the umbilical cord would be really necessary.
Yeah, where's the afterbirth?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, like a mantra. Where's the afterbirth?
Little connection here. The color of the eyes, of course, are the same, even though. We did a lot of rounds of that.
There's a whole thing there.
Right.
You thought that they should be
I know.
bends.
I know. Don't even get me started on that one.
Whoa.
There was a lot of...
Ben impregnated Daisy.
Phil, the blanket.
The minutia of all of the decision making that goes on in animated film, especially CG, is extreme. So we would have these really go very deep into these tiny little elements,
Another thing developed was Freddy, another little character trait, always holding that tail nervously, just running the angel he was just doing.
And then Pip became an acrobat during the whole thing. He really started.
Well, he was always supposed to be very mobile and jumping around and active.
As long as I'm still kicking, no animal.
This shot was a lot hard to...
Yeah, this is cool.
Yay! Woohoo!
So Otis steps up, takes the job of keeping everybody safe.
The sheep.
The sheep jumping together.
Freedom is a moo.
Out to the group, and then Stars Dance. This was a big production.
Yeah, this is...
This went all the way
Brings
to the
back
very...
bad memories.
Wow. Yeah, this went to all the way to the end. I mean, things got animated, reanimated, then we hadn't even put the effects on it yet. And
it's Graham
turned
Silva.
out very nice.
TJ,
but it was
myself.
It was a photo
David
finish.
and Joel. And those are just the animators.
Yeah. And then, it's Graham Clark and his group that did the stars.
He was from Canada as well.
Yep.
Little Canadian clique.
Great Canuck.
And then just when you think it's over...
What's this?
This was me sort of wanting to go out because it's a nice soft ending, but it's always nice to have something for people to laugh at on the way out.
Barnyard in the frame.
I don't know how he got in her hair. Yeah,
very quietly.
I didn't really have to cover that. Somehow he snuck his way into her hair. Woohoo!
These cards are great.
Nice.
The first time I saw these was
There you go. Well, we had no money left, so we're lucky that anything's moving at all. I mean, we were a blink away from just a crawl, I was squeezing our last dime into the picture.
Wasn't there talk of at one point of putting people's actual images next to names or something?
I tried to pull it off. It was too last second, so
Yeah.
I wanted to get the crew's photos in there, but just didn't quite have enough time and resources to pull it off, unfortunately.
Is that Orion's belt?
Is there still banding?
No, those are his pants.
I'm in the left.
All right, anyone have any...
I think you're going to just, TJ, you're going to read all the credits as they go, right?
Yes,
Just very
I
quickly.
believe.
Is that how it,
Andy McDowell. David Koechner.
Dahikagi.
Cast.
Casa.
Both languages
Kevin
simultaneously.
James.
Jeff Garcia is here tonight. Ed?
Now it's funny if you watch people in the audience when a movie ends and the credits are rolling by. It's because I always stay till the very end. Unless my kids now they'll want me to leave, so I have to leave early. But I like to stay till the end. And it's interesting. No one knows people in the movie, but there are a certain type of human that like to sit through the entire credits
And look at the
And this
names
is basically what happens. They'll go through. They'll be watching it.
Omation. Animation.
And they'll start reading the odd names. They'll like if somebody's name's weird, they'll go, "Oh, Emmett Jobolono," or they'll go, "Catherine Days."
I've never done that.
Wait a second. And I guess that's the point of sticking around, so you can read people's names you don't know. And
should also mention our cleanup team that helped us out by putting all the sort of finishing off our shots.
Animatic Lance Batchelder.
Jordan Bizu and Stacy Shear coordinated the department.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank all the great texture team. A lot of great artists.
Art department.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Should thank Caroline Lynch for intercomming me several times a day. And
all right, Caroline, yeah.
She did a great job of coordinating the art department.
We can't leave out Paul Chang. He has been mentioned throughout the whole thing.
Paul
Gorio.
Chang. It's a one-man wrecking crew. Modelers just went by, and you don't mention that because it happened so early in the film.
Especially the environmental modeling with headed up by Greg Galliani.
Yeah. Did a great job. There's a lot of models to build in this film.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny when Greg left?
Hey, who's that?
Well,
the past people thought that modeling was finished.
Yeah, no.
And it was nowhere
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
near
Yeah.
finished.
Let's give a shout out to animation.
Yay, animation.
That's right.
Yeah.
They worked their butts off.
Cleanup is a very thankless sort of job, and they did an awesome job.
And we had a lot of cleanup.
Filing crew as well.
Did a lot more than just cleanup.
It's funny. It got called character filing, but it really turned into everybody's dumping zone.
Yeah, they finish everything.
Anything that wasn't working, it was like, oh, yeah, give it to character filing.
Yeah.
It's like lunch. Well, they can make sandwiches, can't they? I mean, they know how to use a knife and bread.
It's like
big lighter.
The lighters did an amazing job.
and the riggers. Thank you very much, riggers, for.
Conan was awesome. Conan Carey.
I suddenly want a popsicle. Popsicle? I have a craving now.
This cue. See,
Yeah.
TJ's being
This was
funny
almost
here.
in the movie a couple times. This is almost a song for the montage, and then we liked it so much we threw it in the credits.
IT for keeping us all working.
That's it.
Where did this come from?
Oh, this is great. This is about a year before we started. I was almost doing this show with David Arquette, and then I mentioned, he goes, "What else are you doing?" I go, "I'm just about to go in production on this animated film called Barnyard." And he goes, "Oh, my dad, when we were kids, my dad sang this song called the Barnyard Dance." And I went, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah." I go, "Okay, I'd love to hear it." So he sent me a CD. So all of the kids that are singing here are all of the Arquettes as little kids. And
Wow.
they're like in their den, and it's the dad starts singing it, and the kids, he gave me a couple versions, one that was all dad and one all kids.
So it's like Patricia and Roseanne.
Yeah, Patricia, Rosanna, David. the whole gang. And the scream was Zoe and Isabella, my daughters, because David, that's great about David. I told him, I'm going to use this in the credits. I go, I think it'd be fantastic to go out in this. And he's like, cool, you know. And he goes, oh, but at that one part where they say there needs to be a scream, you know. And I go, and we didn't do it. So I go, okay. So I recorded my girls doing the little scream.
Oh, is that right?
That's great.
And Patrick Kenny passed away. He was our recruiter and awesome gentleman.
I have to mention my 2 kids in that pile right there, Bradley and Madeline.
That's right.
2 children on this film.
I'm still chasing down the Maddie spelling. Everybody keeps spelling it M-A-D-D-Y in all our ancillary, and it's I-E.
Yeah.
So.
And also a caterer that was not in the credits.
Yes.
Waffle Lady.
The Waffle Lady.
Karen Rackman, nice job on pulling all the music together.
Karen Rackman, our music supervisor, did a phenomenal job, and we a great soundtrack, and she really cares about the movie, not just putting together a soundtrack, which is awesome.
Paul Calder, editor, composer, performer.
Yeah.
Well, we gotta listen to the end of the song. We can't just stop. So
no, we can't stop.
Why don't we all? Let's listen to the end of the song, and then at the very end, I'll make a beep sound, and then it'll be done.
Wait for the beep.
So
right
now,
your mouth is done.
Let's just listen. Wait, okay, we're good. No, we can talk a little bit more. It's close, but
keep talking.
Okay, here we go. Stop. Wait.